Hey folks, this is Kalani. In this video we're going to show you how you can quickly and easily farm up the reputation required to earn your Plunderstorm Renown rewards and reach Renown 40 as fast as possible, which is even faster now thanks to some recent hotfixes, so if you haven't played Plunderstorm in a little while, it's probably far more rewarding than when you last played. We also have some strategies that don't involve needing to win your matches or really take part in PvP in the game mode at all if you would rather avoid it. We've got some handy dandy tricks in here to help maximize your reputation gains per match, including understanding how reputation is earned in the first place, which abilities can give you an edge, and where the best spots are to land. We'll all be flying around on that cool pirate parrot before you know it. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. First things first, how do you actually earn reputation with the Keg Legs crew and progress the Renown track? We know you get rep for every match played, but what's actually contributing to that end of match rep value? It's shockingly simple. It's all tied to your plunder. Plunder collected during the match is converted into reputation at a 1-to-1 ratio, so for every point of plunder you get, that's one more rep you will earn at the end of the match. So really the question then becomes, how do you get plunder during any given match of Plunderstorm, and what are going to be the best sources? Any monster you kill can drop plunder. It's the little piles of gold on the floor, so be sure you're picking these up. They can also just randomly be on the floor, so be on the lookout for that. Normal mobs seem to drop 5 to 10 plunder, while elites will drop quite a bit more. It's usually around about or over 20 for each elite. Golden chests are also going to drop a lot of plunder, so be sure to open those whenever you come across them. You can get somewhere between 20 and 40 plunder, it looks like, after the hotfixes are in place. It does vary quite a lot though. It's only golden chests that give plunder too, other chests do not, so if you don't need the abilities, they might not be worth opening. You're always going to be given a Captain's Orders quest just after landing, which will ask you to do something specific. You can track this on the right hand side of your screen. You're going to be asked to kill mobs, collect plunder, open chests, that kind of thing. Completing this quest gives you 250 plunder, so that's an easy 250 rep per game just for finishing that quest. Then there is also a daily quest for Plunderstorm, which is really simple. You just have to play a match. Play any match and you'll get 800 bonus plunder, which just translates to an extra 800 reputation for every day you play Plunderstorm. You could just play one match per day and progress slowly with the daily quest, but I don't think that the event will last long enough for you to reach Renown 40 using that tactic, so you will need to pick up some extra plunder and reps somewhere along the way. With the recent hotfix, killing players yields a significant amount of plunder. It used to be maybe 20 plunder for a PvP kill. They only dropped a singular gold pile most of the time, which was quite disappointing. But now when you kill someone, they drop a whole bunch of plunder piles. It's kind of like killing something in Diablo, which can total up to 200 plunder per player killed, or even more in some situations. So while you can avoid PvP and still get quite a bit of plunder, if you are able to snag some kills in there, you'll be earning reputation and renown much faster. If you manage to stay alive until the very end and win first place, you'll also get a 500 plunder bonus for coming in first place, so it's actually worth sticking out until the very end of the games now. That's how you're going to get the vast majority of your plunder and reputation, but how do we put this into practice to maximize our rep gains for any match we play? It all starts with your landing spot. Instead of trying to pinpoint the perfect landing spot, you actually want to land almost as quickly as you can. You still want to aim for an area with monsters and preferably some elites to kickstart your leveling and plundering, but trying to aim for a specific spot on the other side of the map is going to waste a lot of time. So you want to land quickly and try to land somewhere with monsters you can kill. If you want to get really min-maxy with this, you deal a bunch of damage when you land, so you can actually kill monsters and even one-shot elites by landing directly on them, and this is what we always try to do. If you can kill an elite with your landing, that's a good jump start on your experience, and you should get an ability right off the bat as well as some plunder. Your quest should then pop up very shortly after landing, and you want to prioritize completing it. It's the most time-efficient plunder earning tool you have, so if you do nothing else in a match, be sure you finish that quest. After that, you want to focus on PvE. Kill monsters, kill elites, and loot chests. That should be your main focus for pretty much the rest of any match. You don't have to win or be the last one standing, just grab as much plunder as you can before you die. If you look at your minimap, elites are actually marked there as a little 4-pointed star, so clean up any elites you see on your map and keep your eyes peeled for chests and enemy players. At this point, you kinda need to decide if you want to PvP or not. Killing players now yields a big increase in plunder and rep gains, but it's gonna depend on you and how confident you are in taking down some other players. Personally, I would recommend you give it a shot. The worst that can happen is you die and you just hop into another match to start your PvE farm all over again. Maybe you eke out some PvP kills and get a bit better at the PvP side of things to then get more kills in the future and snag some extra rep gains while you're at it. There are plenty of folks mixed in here, and I guarantee you can kill at least some of them. I believe in you. Go grab those extra rep gains while they're still hot off the hotfix press. Who knows, you might just end up taking first place and getting even more rep for your time investment. You never know if you don't try. If you don't want to go after some PvP kills, you'll probably want to get killed somehow either in the storm or PvP or from monsters and then start up a new game if you run out of a lot of monsters to kill. It is important to note that you do have to die or be victorious to get any reputation. Leaving the game forfeits your plunder, so you can't leave the game if you want to secure those rep gains. You do have to die or win. As for which abilities you want to pick up, anything is going to be better than nothing, and sometimes you don't get a lot of choice, so roll with whatever the game throws at you, but AoE abilities are always going to be king for farming mobs. Firewhirl especially is insanely broken, letting you clear out camps in seconds. Mana Sphere is another great one, it deals massive damage in a large area with crazy range. But perhaps most importantly, I would always try to pick up some movement-based abilities as well. Running between camps can take a while, which just slows down your rep gains, so any way you can speed that up by introducing a movement ability is going to be a good thing. You also want mobility to get away from other players if they try to engage. Anything that creates distance is going to be good, but Fade to Shadow and Fey Form are particularly good. Fade to Shadow gives you stealth, so you can hide from incoming players much easier, and Fey Form is the only crowd control break ability in the game from what I can see, so even if you get caught out with a stun, you can just Fey Form out and run away. Having both means you should never really get caught by any other player. Now, another trick you can use to farm plunder and rep a bit faster is to play duos with a friend. You share your plunder gains with your duo friend, and you can be pretty far away from each other and still share loot, so you can farm different spots and monsters and both benefit from the plunder sharing. Just don't get caught out on your own by another duo. 1v2 is never fun in Plunderstorm. It's worth noting that you don't actually have to invite someone to play duos, you can just queue into duo by yourself and you'll be automatically matched with someone else. The downside here is that they might not be on the same page as you, so there's no guarantee you'll be able to double up your rep gains with a random pug. Still, the option is there. With these tips, you should be getting somewhere in the ballpark of 500 to 1500 rep per game, depending on how lucky you get and how long you can farm, and obviously whether you get any PvP kills. When we queue duo, Nadara and I can get 500 rep within the first few minutes. We just focus on the PvE objectives and kill anyone who comes within range. We've got a pretty good track record at this point, and we've been able to earn nearly 3,000 reputation in a single match when we came in first place, so you can get way more plunder when compared to before these hotfixes, especially if you can get some kills in. Now, if you're curious about the actual list of hotfixes, plunder dropped by other players was significantly increased, plunder from non-player enemies was increased by 50%, plunder from golden chests was doubled, and top placement now rewards 500 plunder up from 100. So all in all, rep farm is going to be much faster when compared to the first day or so of the event, no matter how you are acquiring your plunder. The only big problem we had with the Plunderstorm event so far was how slow it was going to be to progress through the Renown track, and you didn't get much for PvP kills or winning the match, which made the most efficient ways for farming plunder be not really that fun or within the spirit of the game. These hotfixes address most of those issues, so we're having a blast with Plunderstorm right now. But that's how you can farm reputation and renown for the Plunderstorm event and get all of the rewards on offer. What do you think of Plunderstorm from what you've played so far? Do you think these hotfixes are enough to speed up the renown grind, or is it still still just too slow. Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you'd like to add your name to the end of every video with a special shout out at the start of the next video, you can find links in the description over to Patreon or click the join button just below this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.